If only Moshe Menachem would be here today, he would be sitting right here up front. We would be giving him a standing ovation. But he's not with us anymore. And when he passed on, he was a poor, sick man, all alone in this world. He never knew what his integrity would accomplish. No. He never imagined how many millions of babies will someday credit their existence to him in a magnificent display of Ashkucha Prutis. Moshe Menachem isn't here, but you are all here today. Carrying on his noble and tremendous work. He lit the spark unwittingly. But every single loimed sitting in this room today is knowingly and willingly fanning the flames of hope, promise, and opportunity. Before I introduce you to Moshe Menachem, I want to acquaint you with Dr. Bruno Lunefeld, one of the world's greatest and most famous infertility specialists. Little Bruno was born in 1927 in Vienna, Austria. He was an only child to his parents, and his early childhood was blissful. He was just a little boy when the horrors of Nazi Germany and Machshamam started making an appearance. Nearly a century later, Dr. Lunefeld still remembers how the Hitler Youth terrorized him, an innocent little boy in Vienna. They once stole his tram ticket and cut his shoelaces, forcing him to walk 6 kilometers, stumbling all the way home. In 1938, at the young age of 11, little Bruno was sent to England via the Kindertransport program. He went through many upheavals and adventures before being reunited with his parents in Eretz Yisrael in 1940. He was passionate about his mission, and at a fairly young age, little Bruno became known as Dr. Lunefeld. He experimented with body fluids and made several shocking breakthroughs. One discovery, completely unexpected, led him to develop a potential infertility treatment. Dr. Lunefeld discussed his fascinating research with his Rav, Rabbi Yechmiel Leliyui Bachko, the Rosh Hashiva of Yeshiva Eitz Chaim in Montreux, Switzerland. What should I focus on, the young doctor wanted to know. This field is full of opportunity. The Rav was quick to respond. We've lost so many Yidden in the Holocaust, he told him. We need young scientists like you to help us regain our strength in numbers. We've lost millions, and now we need to make up for it. Dr. Bruno Lunefeld had a goal and a direction. He would focus on the research in the field of infertility, and he wanted to do it well. The young doctor knew that he would need funding and professional backing for his grand plans. That led him to Serono, one of the largest drug manufacturers in the world. Dr. Lunefeld stood before its board of directors and described his vision for success. I was just a little boy, he now relates. I had to stand before the board of directors and ask them to help me. We would need to purify tens of gallons of body fluid from an older woman to produce one single treatment. I gave a passionate lecture. They all applauded politely. And then the chairman got up and said, "Very nice, but we are a drug factory, not a urinal factory." I ran out of there crying. But the humiliation experience soon turned around when Dr. Bruno was introduced to Pacelli, an Italian aristocrat on Serrano's board. Pacelli was very interested with Bruno's work. He was also a nephew of Pope Pius XII, which gave him tremendous influence and power. For 10 days, Pacelli hosted the young doctor in his home and grilled him on his plans, his research, and his expertise. At the end of the 10-day interrogation, Pacelli was convinced. He got the board of directors to fund the study, and Dr. Lunefeld's research was finally ready to be launched. When he was ready for the final process, Dr. Bruno needed a laboratory, equipment, and extensive funding. It seemed hopeless, but Hashem wanted otherwise. Pietro Bertoielli, CEO of Serrano Drug Manufacturers, told the young Dr. Lunefeld, "I'll take care of everything. Leave it all to me, the lab, the equipment, the funds, consider it all done." Bruno was astounded. "Why are you doing this for me?" he asked the CEO. Curiosity getting the better of him. Bertoielli didn't hesitate. "You're the first Jew I have met in a very long time," he said. "My conscience has been hounding me for years, and now I can finally do something about it." Bruno didn't know how to respond to this strange statement, but Bertoielli didn't need further prodding. He launched into his tale, obviously relieved to share it after so many years of silence. "I was a young man," he began, "and World War I was raging across Europe. I had access to a tremendous fortune, and I wanted to protect it during those turbulent years. I had absolute trust in my Jewish friend, whom we'll call Moshe ben Menachem, and I gave him my fortune to protect. Well, what do you know? At war's end, Moshe ben Menachem simply vanished. He disappeared. I searched everywhere for years on end, but he was gone. I figured that Moshe had run away with my money, and I was furious. I must admit that for the first time in my life, I started to have anti-Semitic feelings. Dr. Bruno felt uncomfortable, but he bit his lips and waited for the punchline. Bertoielli did not disappoint. Several years after the war, I was contacted by an anonymous messenger. "I have something important for you." And he gave me a stack of Swiss bank account books. My entire fortune was listed in great detail. I did some investigating and discovered the truth, the beautiful and untarnished truth. Moshe Menachem, my dear and trusted friend, had contracted tuberculosis during the war. He was critically ill, and he could have used my money to improve his life, but he didn't touch a penny of it. In his final days, Moshe opened up these Swiss accounts and deposited my entire fortune. Brother Eli was overcome with emotion as he concluded, I would like to make up for my uncharitable thoughts. Now that I have met you, I want to do right to my wrongs. He meant every word he said. Brother Eli established a state-of-the-art laboratory in Tel HaShamir for Dr. Lunefeld, where research moved forward at a dizzying pace. In 1961, Dr. Lunefeld was ready for the first trial. The Pergonal drug he developed for clinical use, together with Dr. Donini at Saronno, had been proven to be effective in animal studies. For human experimentation, he needed permission of his chief, who told him to try the preparation on himself first. After he injected Bruno with the drug for 5 days and no side effects appeared, the preparation was deemed safe, and he was allowed to finally administer it to a patient. A Jewish woman, infertile for some years, was chosen as the first recipient. And when her baby girl was born, the world of science celebrated a breakthrough. In the next 2 years, another 20 success stories underscored what the medical world had come to acknowledge. This wonder drug was here to stay, and the rest, as they say, is history. Rav Asi states that Mashiach won't come until all the neshumas of the gif are removed. Rashi explains that this refers to the heavenly chamber where the neshumas are kept, waiting to be removed from the chamber and brought to life. Dr. Bruno Lunefeld, known as the father of 1 million babies, is certainly doing his part in bringing Mashiach closer, one pure neshama at a time. For decades, his achievement has been acknowledged and applauded by professors, organizations, hospitals, countries around the world. And ATIME deems it an honor and a privilege to celebrate Dr. Lunefeld's astounding zechus in being the shliach for more than 15 million babies worldwide. To add to the celebration, I would like to mention that Dr. Lunefeld was born on February 11th, 1927. That is Tes Uder Aleph, Tuf Reish Pai Zayin, just 3 days from today. In honor of his 95th birthday, we wish him many more years of continued health and happiness, fueled by our boundless Akudas Atov. It's my honor to present Dr. Bruno Lunefeld.
Dear Rabbi Shaul Rosen, thank you for your very kind words. I would like to thank you with all my heart that you are helping me to make my dream come true, to allow every childless couple to have the genetic child. keep safe and continue this wonderful work. And Shaliach will be with you. Bruno Lunenfeld.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr. Lunenfeld. Dr. Lunenfeld, in honor of your 95th birthday, we want to present you with a small gift. Art celebrating your life. May you continue in Avodas HaKodesh, and may you continue seeing much nachas and many long gesinnte Juden.